everyone, it's Linda Ockwell-Jenner here again with another SBCN Small Biz Perspectives. And last week we were talking to a lovely lady, Sylvia Greschner, SG Money Coach, and she's here again tonight. Hi, Sylvia.
Hi, Linda.
So, it's nice to have you back. Have you had a busy day?
Yeah, actually, I've been doing a number of different things and just dipping my hand in almost every single pod.
Oh my goodness, that sounds very exciting. We talked a little bit about, your business and how you encourage people to budget and nobody runs away from you. You've got lots of clients. But I would have thought that that's quite a difficult thing to actually market. I mean, how do you get the word out there that, you're there to help people?
Well, I mean, I do talk about it myself with anyone I do come in contact with. And I do have some very loyal followers and clients, as well as businesses in the area that like to pop out my name, which I appreciate totally. And it does help. I also, have my website marketing and my learning academy, as well as Facebook. So combination of those. I've recently added podcasting to my lineup. So
Awesome.
That's getting me some traffic as well.
Yeah, that's awesome, Sylvia. That's really good. So in your early days, when you first started the business, how did you know what you had to do? Obviously, I guess you needed a website, but how did you put it all together and say, I need to do this, I need to do this? I mean, did you have a mentor or a coach yourself?
I age coming out here. I've been around a long time. And, a lot of it I've done or had time to experience with various different employers over the years to learn and grow with social media as it all took place. So I actually didn't have a website for probably the first 6 months that I was in business. I didn't have a Facebook page for quite some time. Or groups for that matter. I had a learning academy and I based my whole beginnings on an email and my learning academy where I added programs to it. And if people wanted to know more, I sent them to my learning academy.
So you keep talking about the learning academy. What exactly is that?
It's an online school.
Oh.
So you can register and you can take courses by way of videos, because I do have videos in them, and PowerPoint presentations. And then with each segment comes a workbook that you can actually do on your own, and it will fill in the missing blanks and give you the foundation to go forward.
Now, how did you find out about that? How did you realize I'm going to do an academy?
Well, that took a little bit of research. So I actually went through quite a few different learning platforms within the online industry. And I settled on one, but the limitations of it didn't allow me to go further. So actually, after about probably a year, I switched over to a totally different platform, which gives me all access to everything that I need. So I can have membership sites, I can have direct courses, I can just have video segments, I can do learning tutorials. So it's actually, it works for me because there's so many people out there that finance, it's a bad word. Budget, it's a bad word. Looking after your money, oh my God, that's just, terrible. And people don't want to admit or want to acknowledge or want to tell anyone, what's happening in their background. They're ashamed, they're scared, they're frustrated, they're confused. And I just provide the academy as an opportunity so that they can go in and have the knowledge base that they need and the worksheets that they require, but they don't have to tell anyone except themselves.
I really admire you because it looks like you've done this the hard way. There's many resources today online, but you did it all before those resources. You found it yourself. You researched. You worked out what worked for you and what didn't. Mm-hmm. And I admire you because a lot of people don't want to do that hard work and they want it handed on a plate. So, what made you decide to do podcasts? This is exciting.
Well, my life is very hectic at times, and my schedule may not be accommodating to a lot of people. So when you're doing live videos or stuff like that, you have to make sure the time factor applies to all the people that you want to reach.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's just not practical. So by doing a podcast, I can do it when I've got a free moment, when I can find some quiet time, and I can publish it that same time, or I can publish it a couple days later. If I have a thought running in my head and I just think that everybody should know about it, I can record it and I can put it out there when it's an appropriate time that people may respond to it. I just find that it's easier for my lifestyle to do voice rather than live, because live does take a lot of configuration to get going.
You have to excuse me today. I've got the most awful allergies, hay fever, whatever you want to call it. And it wasn't time to take my medication before we started this chat, and now my eyes are streaming, my nose is twitching. But the show must go on. I guess that's why you're successful, Sylvia, because you don't mind taking a risk and trying something. I was actually talking to some people today. It was a mentor session.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to tell the truth. A mentor's not there to say you're doing everything right if you're not. And I said, until you try, you'll never know. You'll never know what it's like to fail. And it's okay to fail, as long as you try again to move forward and find out, what's the best way to work for you. So I really admire you. So you've got a learning academy, you've got a podcast, you've got a couple of books. Is there anything you don't do, Sylvia?
I don't sleep a lot.
I've gathered that. You're a workaholic, aren't you? You're a little bit like everybody else I know. The thing is, though, I know it hasn't been the very nice weather, but you do take walks, don't you, to make sure you get fresh air. Don't you have a walking group or something?
Actually, I love to go for walks, and I like to do off trail as well. And I have a 10-year-old puppy.
Oh.
Who just loves the outdoors as well. So we're looking forward to a little bit better weather before we get in the trails.
Yeah. So you're very sensible. And even though you say you don't get much sleep, I think you must get enough for you, because you're able to act like a human being and wake up, So, and you take the puppy for a walk. Do you work I know you said that you do your podcast outside of regular hours, maybe, but do your clients want you between 9 and 5, or can you work like odd hours? Can you work in the evening for your clients, as well as doing the podcast?
It's funny. Most of my clients do some form of work, so they actually like the evenings or the occasional weekend, which works for them and it works for me. So it's a good mix.
Yeah, it's a really good mix. So what are you hoping, all your marketing, we've talked about, you've got a website now, you didn't have one in the beginning, you've got your academy, you've got your podcast. So where does all this marketing lead you? People are referring you, obviously, because they're happy clients. But I mean, how do people find your learning academy and your website if your friends have told all their friends and that's exhausted? Where do the rest of your clients come from to discover you?
They can do a Google search, Money Coach comes up, or SG Money Coach, or, even my name itself will come up. So in that respect, I'm out there, even if somebody doesn't directly know me or if someone doesn't refer to me.
And you're very memorable. I mean, we were at a networking event together last night together, weren't we?
So,
And you looked absolutely adorable. You've got the most beautiful long hair, and I think that's part of your brand, and people don't really understand brands. So from a personal perspective, you're a very friendly person, you're memorable, you're always ready to help people, you like to have a laugh like I do, and that is
yeah.
part of your marketing, that is part of your brand. So where do you see yourself going? If you set yourself a 5-year plan, or
In a 5-year plan, I'd like to be semi-retired, and basically just provide an abundance of information to keep people strong.
keep people strong? I like that. You care very much about people, don't you?
I really have an issue with people struggling when they don't need to. And sometimes it's just not knowing where to look, what to ask, who to talk to.
Yeah. This is not primarily though about people who are struggling because they're in debt. It's also about people who have money but maybe waste it and spend it on the wrong things. Is that correct?
Oh, for sure. There's an abundance of people out there that earn an above average income that just don't know how to manage their money, and they're still living paycheck to paycheck.
Really?
Which is kind of a shame.
Yeah.
But everyone has their own experiences with their lifestyle and what they like and what they don't like, and until somebody hits question mark in their life or rock bottom, they're not going to take the time to review it or look at it or master it.
And that's a shame, because you're planning your semi-retirement already, and you're thinking about, you'll be able to have your holidays and relax in various ways. And these people, I guess, are not planning for those times. And to have you to come to and, show us how to do it, it's absolutely marvellous. Remind us again how we can get in touch with you, Sylvia.
Everything's available on sgmoneycoach.com.
What could be easier than that? So it's been a struggle for me tonight with my hay fever, I will tell you that. I keep feeling like I want to sneeze, but you've been absolutely wonderful, and you've kind of opened a window. You've made it seem simple, Sylvia, and I know it hasn't been easy. So maybe the next time we do this, maybe you could share with us if you've had any failures, if you've had any struggles, because we all like to know that we're normal. And I know I've had struggles in business, but you've made it really easy for me tonight. I just wanted to curl up on the sofa. And now you've made me all thinking, maybe I should start budgeting like a good girl. Obviously, we do budget, but you've given me some more ideas. So thank you again for your time. I really appreciate it, and we'll do this again soon.
Well, thanks for having me, Linda. Enjoy talking with you.
Yeah,
We'll talk again soon.
You have a lovely evening.